Now I can see where all the money went for Amazon's The Rings of Power. Episode 3 is a vast improvement over episodes 1 and 2, although I think the primary reason I liked this a lot more is because we get a lot less of Galadriel in this episode. I really do not like that character. In episode 3, Galadriel and Halbrand, Galadriel, are picked up off their raft by a Númenórean ship, and they are taken to the island nation of Númenor, where they receive a somewhat hostile reception due to their disdain for elves. The Harfoots are still trying to figure out what mute Gandalf is trying to find, and Erondir the elf has been taken captive along with other slaves to dig a tunnel or trench for orcs. For whatever reason, the special effects are a lot more convincing in this episode, and we get some pretty beautiful shots of the island of Númenor and the Númenórean ships sailing the ocean. The orcs are also very well done. The prosthetics are detailed and they look creepy. I love creepy, nasty creatures in my fantasy movies and TV shows. We need more of that. There's a scene with a warg that I thought looked pretty rad. The orcs have this rabid warg, which if you don't know, it's basically just a giant wolf-looking animal, and they sick it on the slaves who are trying to escape, and it has these big, wild, manic eyes, and it's foaming at the mouth, and it kind of looks like the dog from The Mask, but I thought it worked really well here. The dialogue is still a huge problem. It's not as bad as episodes 1 and 2, but it's still a big issue. For example, we get a scene of Isildur training with other recruits to become sailors, and during their training, their captain says, "Remember, men, the sea is always right." And they all respond, "The sea is always right." And then Elendil also says, "It was the sea that put her in my path, and the sea is always right." Ah! Who signed off on that? What does that even mean? The Harfoots have a little festival and they're wearing animal costumes like the Wicker Man and dancing around while saying, "Nobody goes off trail, nobody walks alone, nobody goes off trail, nobody walks alone." It's like, that's an odd phrase to be singing at a festival. That sounds like the equivalent of me dancing around with my neighbors while we sing, "Brush your teeth twice a day, visit your dentist once a year." I really don't like the Harfoots. They act too much like cartoon characters. Imagine Merry and Pippin from the Fellowship of the Ring, but multiply that a couple of times. It also bugs me that the 3 episodes so far have all been build-up. I don't know what the payoff is going to be, but it better be darn good. All of this so far is moving the chess pieces and introducing a bunch of new characters with little in the way of actual entertainment, such as comedy, suspense, action, or mystery. So far, this doesn't feel like a show that has a lot of rewatchability. The much improved special effects and cool fantasy creatures, however, give me a little bit of hope that maybe Amazon can turn this series around. But there was never much hope. Just a fool's hope. See what I did there?